Hello beautiful people, welcome back to another YouTube video, and if those of you who are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. If you haven't already, go ahead and follow my social medias to stay up to date on the most recent videos that I will be posting in the near future. If you don't want to miss a video, go ahead and turn that bell on so that way you know and you are notified when the video drops. If you don't want to do that, you can follow my social media and stay up to date. So for today's video, I know it's been long overdue and it's something I should have posted a long time ago, but with reversing holidays and everything, I got so busy trying to do life that I haven't really got around to even making a video explaining my first ever bodybuilding season and what did I get out of it, right? So I'm here to talk about it. So 2024 bodybuilding season recap. What does that entail? As most of you know, 2024 was the first year I competed ever. For those of you who don't know or weren't aware, I did end up coaching myself. So my nutrition, my check-ins, my posing, I did all of that on my own. I did my own research and, kind of just went in. It has been 14 weeks since the last time I stepped on stage, which feels so surreal to me, but it's been 14 weeks since my last competition, and yeah, we're just trying to build and hopefully, get on stage soon. But a little disclaimer, I did want to mention, I don't want anybody to think that I just jumped into this prep with automatic knowledge and that I knew everything about the sport, because I didn't. And I want to make sure that I'm very transparent about that I was learning along the way of this whole journey. I did not know everything. I did not prepare myself the way I should have. Granted, that's why my reverse, I did fail it, but I was able to snap myself out of it relatively quickly to the point where I didn't overdo it. So I'm very grateful to have had that experience, but I just want to make that as transparent as I can. But I kind of want to talk more about the positive stuff, right? We did our shows. We did 2 shows for 2024, and I'm over the moon, honestly. I'm now starting to feel it, because when you're down to 2 brain cells, you don't really feel anything. So the 2 shows that I did for the 2024 season was the NPC Natural, and I did the San Antonio Classic. Both of those shows are NPC shows, and they were here in Texas. Also wanted to disclaim, I did a 31-week prep. So my body was definitely at its depleted state. But I do want to make it aware that I did do a prep before the actual prep, which is basically a mini prep, not the whole 31 weeks. But what I did is I did a 3-month bulk and I did a 3-month cut. So the reason for that, and it's such a short period, but it's more about what you learn within those months about yourself and your discipline, your consistency, and just your drive and your motivation. Where is it at? In my head, I thought it should be a piece of pie. Was it the same way? Yes and no. But you learn. Like I said, I learned throughout this whole process so much about myself, not only physically, but emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. I grew in every aspect that you could think of. Even if it was 1%, it was more than what it was before I started prep. So I gained a lot of new habits. I gained a lot of new friends. I got a new community. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into that, but so I competed at the NPC Texas Natural, which was in Beaumont, Texas, and this was on September 28th. Arrived Friday for check-ins, as any athlete would. Check-ins is basically where you get your number, you sign a piece of paper that you're gonna compete. They measure your height for which division you're gonna be in, and then they give you goodies, get your tan, and then go about your day until Saturday. Saturday, I arrive at the venue. I get there around like 11-ish. Competition didn't end till 10 p.m. They are an all-day thing, and it's only because it's not only bikini girls competing, it's other divisions competing. So just a heads up, right? If you ever attend a bodybuilding competition, prepare to be there all day. Overall first show. So to me, I had so many feelings that day. It's so funny because I felt so nonchalant, but I wanted to cry at the same time. Your emotions are really just not there when you're so depleted. I'm so grateful that God allowed me to even step on stage, to even compete with women at this rigor, at this stage. that have competed before, that look amazing, have phenomenal physiques. And overall, like I said, I'm just very grateful. Let's talk about placings. I got third in true novice, I got second in novice, and first in open class A. Since I received first in open, that automatically made me nationally qualified to potentially attend a different show and be awarded my pro card. Now, I did not do that. I will explain why at the end of this video. I will say it was a huge accomplishment on my behalf, because coaching yourself through your own first show and becoming nationally qualified on the first show, it's not impossible, but it's rare. So I'm very grateful. These were the medals that I got, right? So I got one for each division. I competed in 3 divisions, so I got 3 of them. But yeah, they're pretty heavy and they're very big. And yeah, so that was the end of that competition. As far as feedback, right? Because you want to know what separated you from a specific person, or what do you need to do better in. So the feedback that I got from the Beaumont show was to get tighter. My posing was a little off. I knew that. I was nervous and I was confused. I was like all over the place. I didn't know what to expect. So I was a little shaky on stage. I did feel it. And my breathing was like irregulated. And then just to get more conditioned. So basically just to get leaner. But yeah, that was the feedback that I had gotten from the NPC Natural. Overall, it was a really good show. Very good first show for me. And I wouldn't have changed anything about it. So moving on to the second show, which is the San Antonio Classic. So this was in San Antonio. I arrived Friday again for check-in. Got my number, got my height, got my goodies, left, got my tan. Then I chilled out for the rest of the night. Saturday evening, because this was a little bit of a later show and there was a lot of girls. I was not expecting that many girls to be there. Yeah, it was a pretty big show. Did not end up wrapping up until 11 p.m. So I was very much hungry, I was dehydrated, and I was tired. Yeah, the amount of girls that were there with amazing, and I mean amazing physiques. I get amazed by women, like, I really do. Looking at how much work they put into their physiques is amazing. Going on to placings, right? So for this one, I only competed in 2 categories, which was the open and the novice. For novice, I did end up placing 4th, and for the open, I ended up placing 7th. So this was a little bit of a lower placing as I wanted. You don't go into a competition wanting to place the lowest, but I did get feedback. Got 2 different types of feedback. Reason why I got 2 different types of feedback. One option of the feedback was if I was going to continue to push throughout the season. The 2024 season was going to be just to get more conditioned and to get tighter, which I was still holding on to water. I just can't get rid of it. And the second option was to grow in my shoulders and to grow more in my upper glute. That's the feedback that I got if I was going to take the off season off. So those were the main focuses to really improve on in this improvement season. I wasn't upset at the feedback. I kind of was expecting it. She did, however, comment on my posing, how it was really good. So W's in the chat here. I was content. I was okay. I was like, well, this is not how I wanted to step off the season, if I'm being honest, but I knew me stepping off the way that I did, I'm gonna make the biggest entrance this year. So that's all I leave off with. I got the question as to why I did 2 different shows. So the first show that I did was a natural show. The second show was not a natural show. I did compete in both of these shows naturally. So I wanted to see where I would scale at with natural competitors versus NPC competitors. Those of you who know the difference, but those of you who don't know, NPC usually has athletes that are natural and can be enhanced, and natural athletes are completely natural. The competition that I did in Beaumont was a all natural, and it is drug tested, so we'll test you to see if you are natural. But I did 2 shows just to kind of see where I stood at with 2 different groups, right? They're both NPC shows, but one of them is natural and the other one is not. I got what I needed, I did what I did, and I don't regret it at all. I'm glad that it went the way that it did, and I'm just grateful to God that he allowed me to do that. And I had the privilege to compete with amazing women alongside, and just to continue growing. So last but not least, why did I not go to nationals if I got nationally qualified that year? So as I mentioned, it was a 31-week prep. 31 weeks being on a really rigorous diet and exercising and being depleted for so long can only last you so much. Your body can only handle so much. So I made the executive decision to not go. And I just told myself, you know what, you did what you could. I knew that if I continued pushing that I wasn't gonna deliver a better physique. I already knew. There was minimal knowledge to what I was doing. Like I said, I'm no expert. No matter what approach I went through, it just didn't work. So at that point, I knew I needed guidance, which is why, drum roll, this year we have a coach. We trust him. We love him. He may get on my nerves sometimes, but I absolutely adore this man. He literally listens to my concerns. He is very self-aware of what he's doing with his athletes. He cares about them. I'm very proud to announce that I am part of a team. And do I have a show in mind that I'm going to do this year? Not yet. Y'all would just have to stay tuned for that. Will I be competing this year? I will. I will be stepping on stage this year. I just don't know exactly when that timeline is going to look like. If you want to know more, make sure you follow me on social media and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell to get notifications on when I drop a video. But until then, stay tuned, and I love y'all and be safe.